Hello folks and welcome. Debian 12 Bookworm, KDE Plasma. This video was requested by a subscriber, how to install mouse cursors. I'm going to show you two different ways today. I'm going to show you the locations and where they need to go. I'll also show you the system way to install it and also how to uninstall things the system way and using your file manager. And the benefits of, let's put it that way. So I'm filming in 1920 by 1080. This video will definitely be more than 2 minutes. So welcome folks. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is workspace behavior, not yours. I have this set for double click. I don't particularly care for single click when dealing with the file manager because I'm going to be getting into that. All right, so I'm going to slightly minimize that, go with workspace, go with appearance and cursors. What's another way of opening this thing up? All right, go to your Plasma icon, the one next to it. On the right is System Settings. Open that thing up, hit Appearance, then go to Cursors. All right, so I have a couple things in here that is of interest. First of all, you should have everything on this screen except for that one. The radioactive mouse cursor is installed manually. These are installed by the system when you actually installed Debian 12 Bookworm Plasma Desktop. These do not have a trash can that you can click on. This one does. So that tells me these are in different locations. Now your system is smart enough to look on two locations. It looks in your locally logged in user in the .icons folder and also the USR share icons folder. That's where these are installed. So let me get this out of the way really quick. File Manager Dolphin. The regular system icons are installed here. I'm going to open up the drive, go to USR, go to Share, and open up the icons folder. So, opening this thing up, you have Adwaita right here, and Oxygen Zion. That's this one, pardon me. That's this one. All right, that's where these are installed. So what about this radioactive? Well, that's not in here, is it? You don't see radioactive in here. I'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to actually point this out, that this folder here is owned by root. That would mean you need root permissions to add or remove anything in this folder. That's why under general conditions you don't have the trash can symbol on these, because right now I don't have root permissions. Okay, so far so good. All right, now I'm going to go to the whole folder, which these are your folders, whatever your username is, and I am going to show hidden files. Control H is the shortcut. Now this is installed in .icons. That's called radioactive. This theme right here. This cursor, mouse cursor. So it's all by itself. Now, if you don't have this folder, you can right-click, create a new folder yourself. Just call it .icons. Or you can have the system create it for you. All you got to do is install one cursor theme. So, to install cursor themes can be done from the system, or you can do it manually also. All right, that one was installed manually. Just wanted to point that out. So I literally created this folder manually. But I could have had the system created for me also. It doesn't matter. So get new cursors. I'm going to wait until it does a refresh. And blue line up here. Contents available, blah, blah, blah. All right, so nothing's perfect. And more importantly, I'll show you two ways to install cursors. So I'll use this one first. Install. All right, I can click also use if I want to. Or I can just exit. So if I do the use, it changes that right away, but it's not effective right away. You can see it in here, yes. And that has a different attribute because it's still holding on to the setting. but you can see that I'm switching between the two. This is radioactive, and that's the new one called Afterglow something. Now, if you decide to change something, go to your menu, go find your logout. Log out of your system and log back in if not a reboot. Always when you change mouse cursors with KDE Plasma. Alright, I actually recommend that on all Linux distros anyways. Log in and out as soon as you change your mouse cursor. It's just a good idea. That way you don't have this aftermath effect. Alright, with that said, let me go back to this. First need to close that because I'm clicking around. I'm going to go back in here, go to Appearance, go to Cursors, click, click and apply. Now I have the same one selected. So I added this Afterglow something, and guess where it installs it? Right in there. Even though I manually created that folder earlier, it still knows where to install it. And that's why I say the importance of installing these things in the correct folder so the system knows where to look. All Linux distributions look in the .icons or the USR share icons folder for mouse pointers or mouse cursors. Just as an FYI. I've been doing this for many years. Alright, with that said, that one was installed by using this command. Get new cursors. And this one was installed by me manually. So where did I get this thing? Well, first of all, I'm going to click the downloads just to make sure it's clear because we're going to download something. And when I get down, I'm going to uncompress it and install it in here. Okay, so with that said, I'll just minimize that and close this. Open up a web browser. Are you a subscriber? I hope you are. It's easier to do this if you are. Alright, so some web browsers will display some of my links in here in the actual picture. If you're curious, it's the coast of Oregon, USA. But if you don't have that, you can click the About section. I do have 200 videos to offer you if you're not a subscriber, and you can also use keyword searches if you use this magnifying glass instead of that one. But I'll click the About section and scroll down here. What you want is this gnome-look.org website. It's a non-profit website where I believe most of the Linux distributions, if not all of them, use the same database and cursors. Alright, you have latest, rating, pinged, and searches. RADIO. That is what that one is called. Radioactive. It's the same mouse cursor. You can see the exact same match. It has a very good explanation of what some of the stuff I've been talking about. Installing these cursors into your home folder .icons. And where the other ones are installed in USR share icons. That's why I brought this one up. In either case, if you wanted this one, you look for that in the search feature and you should be able to find it rather easily. You only need the one file, and it's pretty small. The next one in line here just gives you the different sizes if you want to view those. It's not necessary. And that's the project on GitHub. So you would download this one. Okay. Now I'm going to click a couple more, and I'll download one. Let's just do it that way. I'll just do one. And I have some others already downloaded. So I'm going to use the Oreo. It just happens to be here under ratings. What color do you want? Files. These are different colors. Red, green, blue, blah, blah, blah. I'll pick red. Okay. It's preparing the download, so as soon as that's done, I'm just going to click the button. And you can download as many as you want. You can install as many as you want. So I'm still waiting for my web browser to respond, and it's finished. Okay. One more time for the website, gnome-look.org. It's a non-profit website. And again, I believe most, if not all, Linux distributions use these databases. All right, so let's open up Dolphin the file manager and go to the download section. There it is, Oreo red cursor. tar.gz, that means it's compressed. Let's uncompress that thing. It's very important that when you uncompress these themes that they uncompress into a single folder. If they uncompress into several files, you'll have to deal with that. But, excuse me, depending on how you uncompress things, whether you right-click, extract here, or just double-click and open, you want it in a single folder. And you want it something like this. At a bare minimum, you should see an index theme and a cursor folder. It may have some additional files. All right, with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this folder and cut it. Right-click and cut. And throw it into dot icons by pasting it. Now that one's called Oreo Red Cursors, and it should be available for me to pick from here under Appearance. And there it is. And that's what it looks like. It only has two sizes, 32 and a 64. Denoted by this also. Alright, I'm going to switch back to my radioactive. And I'm going to do some manual ones. Okay, so I'm back to this one. And you agree there's 3 items in here. So I have downloaded some additional ones from that same gnome-look.org website, and I'm going to uncompress some of these. You've seen radioactive already. So I'll do Pokemon first and extract that out. Extract it into a folder, that's what I wanted. Here's an Azenis, extract, and close. That's 2. And how about one more? So 3 folders have been created, and that's what I wanted. And I want to highlight all 3, right-click and cut those, and find my dot icons folder and paste them. Let's see what these look like. So I have Azenis, it looks like that one. I have the, which one did I add? Oh, yeah, the Pokemon and Pure Glass. There's Pokemon. And by the way, this one has 22 through 96 size of cursors. This one here is called Pure Glass, and it's not resizable. It's 32 only. If I hadn't made mention of this, I will do this now. So why would you need a different size cursor? Well, there's a big difference between a 4K monitor and resolution-wise and 800 by 600. So on a monitor that has, let's say, 800 by 600, 24 would look very nice, very big. On a 4K monitor, that will look like a dot. It's very small. A little bit bigger than a dot, but that's a 32. This one here, which comes installed on your system, is a 24. It's non-resizable also. It's the default cursor from KDE 2 and 3. But more importantly, this one here is a 32 and a 64. So that's the 64-bit, or 64 size, pixel size, and the 32. See, it's a little smaller now. So depending on your screen resolution, that comes in handy. What am I filming in today? I'm going to try to go to the Appearance. Too many clicks. I'm filming in 1920 by 1080. But I'm certainly capable of doing 4K, and now you can see the different screen resolutions. That's what I'm referring to. Don't know what yours is set for. So, but more importantly, that's the reason I brought it up. Is the fact that they are changeable, or some of them are changeable, and some of them are not so much. Okay, so going back to that is my default using 32. I'll switch this back to 64. All right, now I'm going to show you something that you need to think about when you're installing cursors. It's a lot of fun to download a whole bunch of these and play with them. But then there is the practicality of what you're not going to be using. So you want to get rid of things. Well, there's a couple of different ways to get rid of things. If you install them manually, you can hit the red X, the remove theme trash can thing. This one doesn't have that, right? Because that's installed in USR share icons. This one's not. So all the ones with the trash can on them can be uninstalled or removed. But you can remove them here. You can also remove them in your file manager. When you remove them in your file manager, you have in most cases, an undo. When you remove them here, though, you don't have an undo. Let me show you the difference. So I will close this for a second and open up the file manager. Go to the home folder and go into that. And then I'll reopen this, just to point out the fact that I want you to see what's on the screen before I do anything. Still using that as a default. I'm going to get rid of all the ones that I installed manually, including these ones that I did from Get New Cursors. Okay? So I'm going to select everything on this screen in dot icons and hit delete with the exception of that one. So what I'm going to do is hold my control key down after I selected all of them and click that once. So it deselects it. Now I'm going to hit delete. They're all in my trash. As a matter of fact, there's more stuff in my trash. There's duplicates, a lot of things. But in either case, I probably should have done this before I did this, but it is what it is. Because I'm going to restore some of those. So now you can see I'm back to default, minus that one. Okay, but I'm going to put them back, or at least most of them. But this time I'm just going to minimize that and go to the trash. So that was one of them, even though there are two of them. I'll do a restore on that one, that one, that one. These are all cursors, so yeah, I think that's it. I'm just going to empty the rest of this. Alright, so I have some extra mouse themes, so right now it doesn't reflect that until I do a screen refresh. And basically I could do it a couple of different ways, but I'm just going to click the icons and back into cursors. That way it just does a screen refresh. Now here's my Azenas Afterglow something black. I don't think I showed that one, but anyways, that's what that one looks like. It's a non-resizable also. Pokemon, Pure Glass, Oreo Red, Oreo Blue, Azenas, and back to Radioactive. Alright, so they're all back online. And again, I'm going to just do this one more time, this time with the trash empty. Control A is another way to select. Control A. Hold down the control key, click once, hit delete. They're all in the trash, should be. These should all be gone. And they are. And I will close and I will do a Control A in my trash and right click on any of these and do a restore. They should all be back online. And they are. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the trash can just to let you see that it's empty. Now I'm going to do it manually. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Hit apply. And close. And reopen my file manager so it does a screen refresh. They're not in the trash. They are permanently gone. For me to actually think about this, I would have to reinstall them either through here or the manual way. And hopefully you remembered in case you changed your mind. That's why I would suggest using your trash can, your file manager to delete these things, just in case you changed your mind. This way, when you go into here and you decide to do the Oreo blue, for instance, and hit delete, it's in your trash. Versus here, the Oreo blue is gone, right? How would I reinstall that? Well, you can try to go through here. You may be able to find it. Okay. It's still looking. That's why a lot of times it's just, to me, it's faster just to download these things if you're looking for a specific cursor. But in either case, to return Oreo blue, it's pretty simple. Since I deleted it, it's in my trash. I do a restore and it's done. There it is. So let's see if we can find that one. No items. Interesting. That would be. Huh, it's funny. Well, most things. Let's try Azenis. See, it finds that one. And by the way, the one that I was using earlier is actually this one. This comes in 3 flavors. 32 fixed, 48 fixed. And this should be the 182, which is the variable size one. Because that's what I was using here. Because that's comes into the other ones would look like a 32 or a 48. Alright, so Pokemon should also be here. I'm sure it's probably there. Oops, sorry, wrong screen. Let's see what I can find by just typing in poke. There it is, Pokemon. That's this one right here. So as you can see, most of them are in here. And this Oreo was not. I had to go to gnome-look.org to install that one. So that's some of the benefits of doing it through that website. And now you have the 2 different ways to install things. Through here, download a file, do it manually. You can also use install from file. Again, I just find it easier to use my file manager and then pick it from here. Discard. Thank you for watching.